Welcome to What's Bothering Rashi, Parsha's אחרי Kdoshem, Tov Pei Vov. Today we're going to learn a Rashi in Parsha's Kdoshem, Perek Tes, Pasuk Tes Vov. The Pasuk is talking about a judge in court, how he should judge people. And the Pasuk says, Leisasu Ovel B'mishpot, don't commit an injustice in court, in your judgment. Leisiso Pnei Dol, don't favor a poor person. V'leiseder Pnei Godol, don't show honor to an important person. B'tzedek tishpoit amisecho. The last three words are the words Rashi comments on, and he says, B'tzedek tishpoit amisecho kemashmoi. Take this as its plain meaning, the simple meaning, kemashmoi. We'll see what that means. Dovar acher, another explanation, havidones chavercha lekav zechus. You have to judge your friend favorably. Many people, before we get into Rashi, many people think judging someone favorably is a nice midah, nice way to act, to behave, but it's a mitzvah aseh deraisa. It's a positive commandment. If you do it, you do a mitzvah. If you don't do it, you're transgressing a mitzvah aseh deraisa. Chavetz Chaim lists it as a mitzvah aseh deraisa. The Shari Shuva, Rabbi Yoina, says it's a mitzvah aseh deraisa. The Smag and the Smag. In fact, the Chavetz Chaim says, the Rambam says it, and he asks a contradiction. The Rambam in another place says it's a nice midah. It seems that he means it's just a nice way to behave. And the Chavetz Chaim says it depends. Sometimes it's a mitzvah, sometimes it's a nice thing to do. If it's a person you don't know, then it's a nice thing to do, to judge him favorably. If it's a person you know, and you know he's not a Rasha, then you have a mitzvah aseh deraisa to judge him favorably. And the Chavetz Chaim very nicely says that's a difference in the wording. In Pirkei Avos it says, have they done kol adam, every person. By us, Rashi says, have they done as chavercha. He says if you don't know the person, it's a nice thing, it's a midah. Kol adam, that's Pirkei Avos. But here, the mitzvah aseh deraisa is chavercha. You know who he is, you know he's not a Rasha. You have a mitzvah. If he's a Rasha, you don't have a mitzvah. But if he's not a Rasha, there's a mitzvah aseh deraisa to judge him favorably. Okay, back to Rashi. On this Rashi, we'll ask two questions. First of all, what's bothering Rashi? What in the pasuk made him comment? And the second question, which we always have to ask, and it's important to know, whenever Rashi brings two explanations, there's a reason. There's a difficulty according to the first explanation. There's a difficulty according to the second explanation, and that's why he brought both. What are the difficulties? So there's a Sefer in Rashi called Maski LeDavid, written by Reb David Pardo. He was born in 1718 in Venice. He was the Rav of Split and then Sarajevo. Eventually he moved to Yerushalayim. His kever is in Har Zeisim. His son married Lechido's daughter. So the Maski LeDavid says, you know what's bothering Rashi? These words are unnecessary, they're extra. The pasuk starts off, Leisasu Ovel B'mishpot, don't commit injustice in your judgment. That's the same as saying, B'tzedek tishpoit amisecho, you should judge him properly. Why does it say it again? That's what's bothering Rashi. How does Rashi answer? Kemashmoi. Says the Maski LeDavid, Kemashmoi means that you could keep it the way it seems, which means, yes, it's written again. Why is it written again? Says the Maski LeDavid, because there are many times the Torah wants to stress something, and it writes it also in a negative, as a negative commandment, lo yisasu ovel, and also as a positive commandment. There's a mitzvah lo yisaseh, and a mitzvah aseh. There are two mitzvahs for a judge, to judge properly. You could add to it a bit, because Rashi is based on the Gemara in Shavuos, Daf Lamed. The Gemara says, Tana Rabbanan b'tzedek tishpoit amisecho. Rashi says, Kemashmoi. The Gemara explains, Shelo yeh echad yoshev ve'echad oimed. The judge shouldn't let one person sit and the other person has to stand. He shouldn't have one person talk as much as he wants and the other person, he says, keep it short. Because that will cause the person who he's not treating the same as the other to feel the judge is not on his side and he won't say everything he could say to defend himself. Which means maybe the beginning of the pasuk is don't commit injustice. The judge should judge properly. But the b'tzedek tishpoit means also the surrounding, the way they're in the court, standing, sitting, talking more, talking less. That also should be done b'tzedek, with justice, so that one doesn't feel different than the other. So that's the first explanation, kemashmoi. The second explanation answers the question also. Why does it repeat it again? It doesn't repeat it again. It's talking about judging your friend favorably. The first part is talking about a court, judge. Don't leisasu avil. The judge shouldn't commit injustice in court, in his judgment. And the last part, betzedek tishbot, is talking about a person in the street should judge his friend favorably. Okay, so that's what's bothering Rashi. Why does he bring both explanations? What's difficult in each explanation? So the first explanation that says we're talking about the judge in court, the word amisecha is difficult. The Maharal says also amisecha is extra. Torah said betzedek tishbot. At the beginning it says loisisa avel b'mishpat. It doesn't say loisisa avel le'amisecha b'mishpat. Betzedek tishbot would have been enough. My father, alav shalom, said more than that. He said, not only is it extra, it doesn't fit in. Because amisecha is usually your friend, your fellow friend, your colleague. You don't tell a judge. A judge is higher than the people who are coming for him to judge them. So you can't call him amisecha. He's not on the same level as the other people who are coming in front of him. And the Malbim says, also the word amisecha is a singular term. In court, you have two people, not one person. So if it's talking about the court case and the judge, the word amisecha either is extra, like the Maharal and the Maskil David say, or it doesn't fit in because we're talking about a judge, or because it's a singular term. And that's why Rashi brings the second explanation. The word amisecha now fits in, because judging your friend favorably is only if he's your friend, amisecha. As the Gemara says, im she'itcha b'Torah u'b'mitzvahs. But if he's a rasha, he's an evil person, there is no mitzvah to judge him favorably. It might be a nice thing, sometimes it's a midah, we won't get into that, but there's no mitzvah asi d'oraisa if he's not amisecha. So that's why Rashi brought the second explanation. So now what's difficult with the second explanation? Why does he have to bring the first one? So you could say either the word betzedek is a bit difficult, because judging your friend favorably, betzedek is more connected to din tzedek. Judging your friend favorably, I would have used the word toiv maybe, but toiva tishbot amisecha. Judge him good, favorably. So the Malbim really says the word tzedek here has to mean like the word tzaddik. You should judge him as a tzaddik. That's judging your friend favorably. But tzaddik tishbot amisecha, as if it says. But it's not a simple meaning. More than that, the context doesn't make sense, because we're talking about judge. Lesisa pnei dol is the judge in court. Lesedar pnei gadol. To change now to another topic of judging your friend favorably is a bit difficult. So Rashi brings both explanations, because according to the first explanation, the word amisecha is difficult. According to the second explanation, the connection, the context, the word betzedek is a bit difficult. So Rashi has to bring both of them, as each one complements the other. Have a wonderful Shabbos.